Arctic ice is rapidly disappearing, and the region may have its first completely ice-free summer by 2040 or earlier. Glaciers and mountain snows are rapidly melting. Glacier National Park now has 27 glaciers compared to 150 in 1910. This is an upsurge in the amount of extreme weather events such as wildfires, tropical storms, sea levels rising, heat waves, hurricanes, and tornadoes. The rate of warming is increasing, and it's happening, and we all know it is. Polar bears and other indigenous creatures are already suffering from sea ice loss. We have known about global warming for decades, and still if you try to have a conversation about it, many people tune you out. The U.S. has been the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases in history. This is the most important issue of our lifetime, and yet people still try to deny that it's happening. The question is, can we change our ways as a society and the path we are on to fix some of the damage that has been done? Scientists have spent decades figuring out what is causing global warming. They have looked at the natural events that are known to influence climate, but the amount and pattern of warming that we are seeing cannot be explained by these factors alone. The only way to explain the pattern is to look at the effects of greenhouse gases that we emit as humans. There are several greenhouse gases responsible for warming, and us as humans emit them in a variety of ways. One of the most common ways is from fossil fuels, from factories, cars, and electricity production. The gas that is responsible for most warming is carbon dioxide, or otherwise known as CO2. Other contributors of global warming are methane released from landfills and agriculture, nitrous oxide, and the loss of forests that would otherwise store CO2. Since 1990, early emissions have gone up by about 6 billion metric tons. That is more than 20% increase. Extreme weather, water shortage, and endangered polar bears are some of the effects that we see that climate change are obvious and real. So far, one of the biggest challenges with working on making a change is convincing people that climate change is real and to do less harm to our planet. To get back to healthy levels, some scientists say we would have to cut our emissions of CO2 by a staggering 98%. There seem to be simple solutions to helping with slowing down global warming, such as switching to cleaner energy sources and reduce deforestation. But some say that this would take too long to get into gear and would require an impossible level of global cooperation. There are other ideas that are being passed around by Lovelock. Lovelock's proposal, detailed in September 27th issue of the journal Nature, is to stimulate the Earth to enter the recovery phase quickly. You see, if we did nothing at all to counteract the effects of global warming, the Earth would eventually cure itself. But it would be devastating to the human race and take many hundreds of thousands of years. Lovelock's unusual idea joins with a growing list of proposals to fix global warming that include constricting a sunshade, shooting sulfur into the air, injecting carbon dioxide into wet porous rocks to store it for thousands of years, or dumping iron into the ocean to stimulate the growth of algae. This may seem like a big problem for us to fix, so why change? But global warming is a serious problem that each person can help by just simply adopting a more reasonable lifestyle. Here are a few things everyone can do to fight against global warming. Replace regular light bulbs with compact fluorescent light bulbs. Install programmable thermostat. Clean your fireplace filters on your furnace and air conditioner. Use less hot water. Ride a bike instead of driving if possible. Be sure to recycle. Reduce waste or plant a tree even. Here are some simple ways that are even free. This is obviously a huge problem with no easy solution, but I feel that it is something we should all be concerned about and try to be more involved with. Some people will say that it's just a natural cycle and the earth will just fix itself like it has in the past, and there is some truth to that, but we are speeding up the process at rapid rates. I have a son who just turned 19 months, so he hopefully has 80 plus more years on this life, and I hope that he gets to grow up and old in just as beautiful a place than his grandparents did and his great-grandparents did. Gandhi once said, "Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greeds." Thank you.